Because, you know, there's the easy way, the hard way, and the Bolton way, which is just the hard way, but more Bolton-y. And welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Bolton. If you're enjoying the series so far, of course, drop a like, that'd be superb. It is our first day as a Premier League side, and you should see the start to the season that we've got. Our first 3 games: Spurs, Liverpool, Man United. Nice and easy for the new boys, eh? I will be amazed if we're not on 0 points after that, but at the same time, I also won't feel too let down if we're not. So, it's been a very interesting period over this summer. I've been trying to get used to the whole work permit situation with the UK. This is the first save I've really done in the UK since everything was like implemented properly into the game and stuff, because last year there was all sorts of weird glitches. It's hard, man. There's some weird like minutia and stuff that I don't fully understand, so I'm actually going to need your help with a few things today if you do know the answers to a few of my questions, because it's one of those things that was very hard for me to look up online, quite simply, because I found it seems to be that it's very easy to get players from South America, but absolutely impossible to get players basically from Europe, which is very strange. Very strange indeed. Even when those players from South America have no international caps whatsoever, and apparently no youth caps either. It's a very, very strange one. So we've kind of struggled, and certain nations it seems to be very easy to get players from, and certain it's not. So there's a few stuff, and yeah, I'm going to need your advice on a few players, because a couple of guys have come in basically without work permits. It's as simple as that. And I want to know, firstly, if there's any way we'll ever get them a work permit, because it does say on a couple of them, they should be able to get a work permit after a loan spell. But I'm like, a loan spell to who? That's the real problem I'm trying to face right now, because it doesn't actually give you any more information about that. So I'll be very interested in your thoughts when I show you those guys, quite frankly. And there's one guy I'm not sure he'll ever get a work permit, which is a shame, but I do still feel there was money in the deal, to be honest. But don't worry, some players have still joined us. There's a few more coming in, hopefully. There's 3 more. One's confirmed, and I'll show you him, and 2 more that will potentially join us in the next couple of days as well. So we've definitely been bolstering the squad up, and I think we've still made some impeccable signings, and some that I'm like, okay, we haven't exactly spent all the money, but I've actually spent more than I was expecting to, if I'm honest. New contracts as well. Carlo Ziga, brand new deal for him, which is nice to see. Booty was a Championship Player of the Season, which is weird, because there was another guy that had a higher rating than him, but they gave it to Regan Booty anyway. Weirdly, though, he was left out of the Championship Team of the Season. Don't ask me how. Ziga did get in it. Ziga was the only player that made it into the Championship Team of the Season. Regan Booty, however, Player of the Season, not in it. Who cares, eh? And in addition to that, both O and Porteous got their first senior cap. So Porteous has a Scotland cap, and O got his first cap for South Korea. So lovely to see that. And I might well have signed him a couple of buddies, and I think he's had a huge part in them actually joining us. One in particular, who I think could be a game changer, is almost exclusively here because of my man O. But we know what you're all here for. It's signings. Let's just jump into some of the players that have left. So first, Josh Brooking, gone out to Hibs. Permanent deal, it's fine. We've also got some transfers for some loan deals as well, which I'll quickly show you some of the bigger ones. Callum Doyle has gone out to Hull City because we need to get rid of him. Leighton Clarkson, Sheffield Wednesday, I wanted to loan him out. He's now gone. Mathurin as well has gone out on loan to Rochdale. There's a couple of other loan outs, but they're players that have only just come in, so I'll show you those guys when I show you them come in as well. So obviously, as you can see, Wendy Lacazette-Roche is back. Chelsea have broken our affiliate agreement, but they've allowed us to continue the loan of Wendy Lacazette-Roche for the season for free. Low Everton, of course, has joined us again for another season, as I assure most of you already knew. And of course, Niall John back for another year with us as well, because why the hell not? Although we have tried to really strengthen in that area. I was holding off on some transfers. There was one I really liked, but he signed a new contract just as I was about to offer him a transfer deal. So the first signing I wanted to quickly show you is Salah Allah, which, firstly, fantastic name. He is Sudanese. He's coming from Al Hilal Omdurman. So basically, I've been doing quite a lot of in-depth scouting this summer, using some of the scouting filters, not even the filters, that you would have seen them on stream. I built some for Bolton as well that allows me to essentially just get more information on my screen than is normally possible. Not even is normally possible, it just takes you the time to build the filters, so I can now see each stuff at each position and get a better idea. So I just went through and had a look and saw anyone I was kind of vaguely looking at, gave him a scout. Took a little while, which is why we were a bit rushed on this one. But he's one of the players that came through. You know, good passing, good vision. They claim that he will get a contract, get a work permit if we get him out on loan. So that's what we're going to try and do. But the question I have to ask you guys is, where do we send him on loan in order for him to help get that work permit? Because obviously Sudan is not exactly a big nation as far as football's concerned. So let me know where we should send him on loan to enable us to get this work permit for him that we're allegedly supposed to get with a loan deal. I really have tried to sign players that are a little bit more interesting, because it's so tempting to do the South American wonder kid thing. And unfortunately, the work permit system makes it even easier to do that at the moment. And that's a shame, because I do like to try to sign players that are a little bit more varied, basically. And I still have managed to do that, but we have had to dip into the South American market too, because otherwise we would not have signed anybody. And again, the 20 determination sure as hell helps. I love me a 20 determination player. Next up is probably my favourite signing of the window entirely. This is Kim Min. He's come in from Pohang Steelers. He's another South Korean. He has got caps for South Korea, but he's only 18 years old. He banged 30 in 53 for them. But this guy is legitimately brilliant. I wasn't going to sign any strikers in this summer unless I found someone amazing or a youngster for the future. And he is technically a youngster for the future, but he's also a youngster for now. And the only reason I believe this deal happened is because, you know, you get the option to send one of your players to talk to them. Because we had O, I sent him and I said, talk to this lad, tell him about our club. And the thing actually said that basically that was a deciding factor, essentially, in getting the deal done, because he was wanted by PSG and Manchester United. Now, they never actually put bids in, but I get the feeling that if we'd left it much longer, because this was the first piece of business I did, then it would have been, he would have immediately gone to them. 14 dribbling, 16 finishing, 16 first touch, 15 passing, work rate's only 11, might get working on that, technique of 12, composure of 17 for Kim as well, pace of 13, acceleration 16, he's got good agility, he is considered a wonder kid, which wasn't there until he joined us, driven personality as well. I love this guy. Off the ball is spectacular. I honestly think that the only reason he's here is because of our other South Korean, and the fact that we've got two of them at the club now, really, and the only reason these guys are really spawning is because obviously I turned the South Korean league on, but it's still awesome, and the fact that we were able to, I was scouting it a little bit more intently than I would normally, so the fact that we managed to pick this guy up, I think is a steal. Oh, by the way, it's £3.8 million. 3.8 million. He was transfer listed because he asked to leave, presumably to go to Man United or PSG, and then we were like, I wonder if we were getting on that, and we did. £3.8 million. So next up is probably one of the stranger of the signings. This is Mansour Mohammed. Basically, I saw this guy come through, and I saw the attributes he had: 14 heading, 13 marking. He's only 18, remember? 17 tackling. I mean, amazing physicals. Aggression's a little bit on the low side. That's the one thing that's like, bravery's solid, determination's good, positioning's solid. The problem with him is quite simply that he doesn't have a work permit. And my issue is I don't think we're ever going to get him one. But it was £5 million up front with a little bit more rising over the top. I couldn't really say no to that deal. He's on loan at Young Boys for the season over in Switzerland. He's now worth 17 million. And he has a £93 million release clause in him. So, you know, I was quite happy to try something a little bit different here. But if you do have any ideas as to ways we could potentially get him a work permit, then believe me, I'd be very interested to hear. Because frankly, he could slot into our back line right now. And I wasn't even looking at centre-backs. But when this guy came up, I thought, you know what, let's try this. Plus, he's Saudi. It's something a bit different. And he already has a cap for Saudi Arabia too. Next up is Morten Kroken, a Norwegian central midfielder. Now, he again, no work permit, gone out on loan to Vitesse. But he specifically said again that a loan would get him a work permit in some way. Now, I've loaned him to Vitesse because that sounded like a good idea in my head. It might be totally wrong. I really don't know. The only one I'm really unsure about is Mansour Mohammed. There doesn't seem to be any way we can sort that out, but you never know. Things might change. With Morten Kroken, though, I feel like a Norwegian should surely get a work permit at some point, because I feel like this guy is going to get Norway caps at some point. So he's still only 18, so it wasn't desperate that we needed to get him in our first team straight away. But again, 16 passing, 16 vision. I like this guy a lot. I like this guy a lot. And hopefully he'll be a success out on loan at Vitesse. I've really taken my time over finding the right players this transfer window. Sometimes I rush and make some mistakes, and I feel like I probably have done it anyway, but I feel like in the long term, he's still going to be excellent. And I feel like there's no way. This is the weird thing about him as well. 16 under 21 caps, yet no work permit. And Norway are like 40th in the world. Yet the South Korean guy had barely any under anything caps, and yet he was given a work permit immediately. So I don't really understand what caused that, personally. But yeah, so that's a strange one. I was hoping he'd get one, but he didn't straight away. Hopefully he will do soon. That's Morten Kroken. Cos, what a great name, Kroken. And doesn't that mean like the hook in Norwegian as well? Next up is a loan signing. This is Juan Candela, who is going to be our inverted wingback this season. Oh, my goodness me. Now, I'd had my eye on him for a while, but obviously I'd kind of stopped paying attention because he's playing for Villarreal, or not playing yet, but I figured there's no way we'll sign this guy off Villarreal. So when I struggled to basically find anybody that could fit that role, I went and just looked at loan signings, and he just appeared, and I'm like, okay, we'll take him on loan. 14k a week is what we're paying, but I think he's brilliant for a loan signing. The key thing about him is he has, let's just get this up here. There you go. Fairly strong left foot, very strong right foot. He's two-footed, essentially. Almost completely two-footed. So I think he'll be excellent in that role. Good passing, good vision, good work rate. Teamwork's pretty solid as well. Crossing and dribbling aren't bad either. Not that I expect him to do much crossing, but he can do it. Lacks the jumping reach. But other than that, I really, really like this guy. Good tackling, good positioning. Marking's a little bit sus, but I think he'll be a solid option for us this year, playing in that inverted wing-back role. And I actually can't believe that Villarreal were so happy to let him join us. The last of the signings that I've signed up now and has joined us now, there's still a loan signing I'm about to make, another permanent signing I'm about to make, as well as another signing that hasn't joined us yet, but is already confirmed. I'll show you him in a minute. But this is Pablo Valles, the first sort of any of these South American players I was able to sort of pick up, because they just seem to get given work permits for basically no reason. See, look, he's capped at under 20 level, but that's it. But yet the Norwegian guy doesn't get any caps. I guess it's because Argentina's a better country as far as like the FIFA World Rankings, I suppose. But it was weird the whole South Korean guys getting him, but not the Norwegian lad. I don't know, weird. Anyway, Pablo Valles, I think that's how you pronounce his name, 17 passing, 14 vision. He's a deep line playmaker, would you believe? Although, frankly, he's not even the worst Met Salah, and that's the reason I was looking at players. I wanted to find players who were reasonably good at both roles, so we could adjust them around a little bit. Tries killer balls, but with that kind of passing and vision, I'm happy for him to do that. Looks at the pass rather than attempting to score. Very nice indeed. Very, very brave. You know, determination's fine. Physicals are a little bit but he is only 18 after all. And the deal in total has cost us, I think, 5.5 million, but we're only paying 2.5 up front. And the last signing of the window, he won't join us until the 13th of August, so he'll be free for the next game. I don't know why, but he's coming in from Slavia Prague. This is one of the stranger ones I've seen so far. This is Johnny De Pestra. He is a Haitian centre-back that genned at Slavia Prague. I don't know if he's got, like... No, he was born in Jacmel over in Haiti. Fluent in French and Czech. Obviously, he's already playing for Haiti because he's outrageously good. But yeah, he was playing for Slavia. And I saw him, I was like, he's actually pretty solid, isn't he? 16 heading. Marking's not fantastic. His tackling's solid. But the main reason I was interested in him, I was specifically looking at ball-playing defenders with him. So I was using my scouting filters, but I was looking at passing as the main thing and seeing if they had defensive attributes around that. So he's not the quickest, and he's not the tallest either, but he's solid. Good aggression, very nice bravery. Composure's a little bit bad, which is quite important for a ball-playing defender. But the key thing for me is that 16 passing and 12 vision. He's my ideal man for that kind of Critchlow Noble role in the middle. And he's 17 years old. 17. Now, this deal is going to cost us in total of £15 million. But I was willing to put the money on the table for him because I genuinely... And he got a work permit, of course, because he genned at Slavia Prague. So it doesn't matter that he's Haitian, which I thought was just a cool opportunity to bring in a player of an interesting nationality. And he's pretty good to go with him as well. So when he does join us, I think he can slide straight into our back four in places, and he has so much room to grow. It's literally ridiculous. So very, very happy with him. Might become, I don't know, probably not the first Haitian to play in the Premier League, but he could be up there. If there is another one, do let me know. So that's all our business so far. Like I said, South Korean coming in on loan, hopefully. There's another, a Colombian 15-year-old who won't join us anytime soon, but we're just getting the deal sorted. He called Victor Conroy, who looks pretty solid. And as I said, there's a guy at Red Star, but I won't be able to go back in for him for January. He is better than any of our other central midfielders at the moment. So, we start off today at home to Spurs. Oh, by the way, the Indian lad who I've been tracking for a while has now joined Dortmund for £2.5 million. I could have signed him, but there was no way of putting him in our team, and it would have just caused problems. But I am going to continue to track his career and keep you guys updated on what he's doing by just keeping him on the shortlist, because he is a fascinating player to me. So yeah, he's at Dortmund now. He finally got his big European move. We're playing Spurs today. We don't stand a chance, but we're going to give it our best shot anyway, because why the hell not? I fully expect us after 3 matches to still have 0 points, but that's fine. Anything we take from them is going to be a bonus. Let's just see how we get on, eh? Tactical meetings. What are we going to do for this game? Oh dear, right. So for Mayo, Critchlow Noble, and like I said, Roche is fine. Booty and obviously Candela will come in. John and Lawrence for the moment, but there's still options. I'll take a look at that in a second. Kim, he kind of has to play through the middle at the moment with Porteous out on the right-hand side. I have looked at some right-sided options, but there's one guy in Belgium who I've not got fully scouted yet, who he might be the guy, basically. The long-running successor, probably to Guy Porteous, were he to start to just drift off a little bit. So we'll have to see. For the moment, will have to come on as our final substitute here. So Lostak, Ewan, obviously, Temenushkov on the bench, Giles, who I am trying to loan out as we try to find another guy in this spot. There's a few options I've got in mind. No one's really stuck out to me just yet. Valles will be on the bench, and Ryan Cassidy. But I think Valles could do it. I mean, he's very close to being an excellent option for that, but, you know, we've got to weed him in slowly to build his match fitness up more than anything else. And obviously Son up top. Harry Kane has moved to Liverpool for £65 million. I'm sorry, Spurs fans. That's all I could say of that one. He was going to go to United, but he chose Liverpool in the end. And you might say, Probably should have just cancelled some of those transfers for the players that aren't going to get work permits, but the problem is if I did that at every single time at the moment, we'd just end up signing the same players from the same countries, and I do like to try and at least show a bit of variety, and the Haitian lad, the Saudi lad, it's just a bit different for me, and I wanted to try to find players like that. I mean, I wasn't actually specifically looking, but he didn't put me off, let's put it that way, and I think I just wanted to give it a bit more flavour, to be honest, and I want to try and have the challenge of trying to get some of these lads work permits to do things the hard way, because, you know, there's the easy way, the hard way, and the Bolton way, which is just the hard way, but more Bolton-y. So, we're out here, we're at home against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League, our first Premier League game since, I honestly can't remember the last time Bolton played in the Premier League. It's been a long time. That did not look like a foul there, but Bolton are, wait, what? What's going on here? Oh, that was weird. Spurs have given us, all of the ball. Like, literally all of the ball. I don't know what their system... Oh, Regan Booty is scored in the Premier League. It's Bolton 1, Tottenham 0. He didn't get a single goal in the entirety of last season, and he scores on his Premier League debut to make it Bolton 1, Spurs 0. I can see why Harry Kane left. I'm sorry. They've not started well. Booty's first goal for well over a year, and it's in the Premier League. What a moment for the lads. Imagine if we beat Spurs on the opening day. Okay, Spurs finally coming forward a little bit now, but it's been 41 minutes, and Spurs have had no opportunities so far. Castrovilli and Niall John has got there. It's crazy to think that he's starting in our midfield today. Bearing in mind, he's on loan from a side in the division below us. Kim. Oh, is there an overlapping run? Back for John. Back for Low Everton. Oh, it's a lovely bit of play, and it's just over the crossbar from Low Everton as well. Very subdued first half overall, but we've kept the game cagey and taken our chance, albeit a very difficult chance. Even just denying them as much as we have defensively today. Like, we've just been so good at the back. And that's without... This is the same back three that started for us in the Championship last season. And it's coming back to Xavier. He's had about 3 or 4 shots at it there and well defended every single time by the Bolton defenders. You are joking me. By the way, James Bree's got a broken arm, so he can't be around the squad at the moment. Well, I mean, it's going to be an early debut for Pablo Valles. Oh, God. Like, I was pinning a lot of our hopes on that position on Candela being the man for it this season, and he's gone and got injured an hour into his first game for the club. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. I'm concerned it's going to be something like a broken foot. Uh-oh. We've literally prevented every single shot from reaching the goalkeeper. Booty takes it short for Kim, and he's put it in. It's Bolton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Regan Booty with the assist this time, and Kim Min scores on his debut for Bolton in the Premier League. What a moment in front of the home fans here. Lovely idea. Just plays it short. Well, not even short, to the near post instead from Regan Booty. What a performance from the Booty man. I realise there's an element of us mugging them off here, but we've stopped them from getting any of their shots on target. Right, substitutes. We've got 10 minutes to go here until our first Premier League victory, and it's at home against Spurs. I would not have anticipated that. Booty surely is on for a man of the match. A goal and an assist on his Premier League debut, and if we keep a clean sheet here as well, that would be terrific. Oh, it looks like we might not do, but I think we might have just held on long enough to hopefully get the victory. But I do want to try and keep the clean sheet just because, it's such an easy goal for Son. Right then, hang on, lads. We've got 3 minutes to go here. Can we hang on and get the draw? That was really nice football from Spurs. I don't know why they didn't do that earlier. It was almost too easy for them. Regan Booty just couldn't quite get back across to cover Calabria here. And it's a very, very... How is he not offside there? He must have been behind the ball. Yes! Bolton 2, Spurs 1. Booty's free kick as well. And Lacazette Roche with the header over the crossbar, but that's surely going to be it. Bolton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. We've won our first Premier League game of the season, and it was at home against Spurs. I'd say fortuitously for sure, but we still defended particularly well. They still scored their only shot on target of the entire match. And Booty and Kim with the goals. Regan Booty, man of the match on his Premier League debut. I couldn't have asked for anything more than that. Pulled ankle ligament. It's not ideal, I'll give you that, but it could be a hell of a lot worse. I mean, what a start. What a start. So we've got Liverpool, Man United, and Brighton. I don't know what we're going to do. I think we'll probably come back for Liverpool, obviously. But we might go all the way through to the end of September there with Southampton as the next game, because obviously fewer and far between are the games in the Premier League. So we want to make sure that we get decent bang for your buck in the videos. And there'll be new players joining us in the next episode, hopefully. And I'm still not done with the transfer budget. Like, we've got more to come, potentially. So, if you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have, and you're looking forward to the new season, drop a like. That would be superb. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I will see you guys very, very soon. I stream on Twitch, of course, on Tuesdays and Thursdays and at the weekends, so go follow there as well. And I'll see you tomorrow as we get stuck into some of these ridiculous fixtures. There's a Chelsea game in there too. See you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.